Yo, so this video is gonna be a bit strange, but I think that I just wanted to make a short YouTube video on how I think that Singaporean, how I think the Singaporean education system actually produces amazing entrepreneurs and amazing people who can go into the working world and solve a lot of problems and actually make a lot of money, right? Um, I'm talking about this as a perspective from the perspective of someone who's doing both at the same time. And I have this intuition that a new class of entrepreneurs is going to come out of university and especially local universities within the next 1 to 2 years. What's going to happen is this. What I predict, this is all prediction, speculation. I predict that because of the shrinking job market, because of how much pressure that's building up in the systems right now, I think that what's going to happen is a lot of university students will realize that they cannot work the traditional path. But at the same time, the skills that you do learn in school and the work ethic that you have coming from a degree, especially if it's 40, 50K, is actually enough to get you to the top 10% of any industry. Like if you can survive that kind of like brutal education and like studying of systems and stuff like that, it's really not that tough to succeed in entrepreneurship. A lot of the times the people who are in entrepreneurship aren't even that competent. Number one, they don't have the structure to follow through with things. They don't have the, I don't know, how do I put it? Clarity of mind to be able to look at problems from different perspectives. They don't have the training to see how, you know, you can attack and solve problems from different angles. And people will make the argument that, oh, my professor hasn't done it before. Well, bro, technically speaking, if you want to use that argument, Alexander the Great was tutored by Aristotle, and Aristotle didn't fucking win a war before, bro. You know, it doesn't add up. So that whole argument of, oh, they didn't do it before, therefore they are not actually giving you any skills is invalid. It's just a matter of, okay, can I use this skill to solve problems? And I have friends who are using the skills that they learn in school to win competitions, win all sorts of crazy things. And it's a matter of creativity, right? It's not like, you wake up one day and then you're like, oh wow, I am at university and now I got all these skills and I am looking for a job. No, you are using every single class like a fucking case study. You know, you're looking and you're getting these tools to be able to solve problems. You're getting these advantages to be able to look at things from a brand new perspective. I think that my education has been one of the most fruitful things that I've ever done in my life. Granted that I did take a break from school to go and work and do ads for a bit, and then I went back. But once I came back with the intention to learn, to work, to figure things out with clarity that I was looking for modules that were solving my business problems, my life became a lot easier. I was actually getting ideas that was fresh. I was starting to see things in completely new lights, and I realized that I was building up a competitive advantage for myself that I don't think that anyone else can replicate because it's pretty personalized to the specific situation that I am in. And that is the attitude that I would say you should go into university having, right? It's great. It's not that bad, right? But you do need to have some creativity in terms of being able to apply the programs. And you do need to be selective with the types of programs that you want to use. And if you can do that, you're going to be off to the races, right? Mark my words. When I do make it, right, at a level that is enough, I am going to credit my education for it. I'm going to sound like an elitist fucking cunt. I'm going to sound like someone that's been colonized or whatever. But the truth is that it has worked for me, and it is up to the individual to be creative with the education that they are being given, right? The same goes for online courses. The same goes for any form of education. It is about the intention and whether you actually know what problem needs to be solved. Because most of, I believe, what gurus sell you online is understanding what your problem actually is, right? That is 50% of all of the fees, of course fees that are in the guru industrial complex. Basically, what I mean is that, you know, when someone decides to sell you a course, 50% of the value is just realizing that this opportunity exists and you can actually do it, right? That you're paying 50% of the fees just to do that. Um, and yeah, you are getting value because you did learn what your real problem is. But the other 50%, the solutions, maybe not that much, you know? So if you can go into school or if you can go into any skill set, any idea, any perspective, any domain of knowledge, starting off with the problem first, being able to identify what the bottlenecks are in your own career, being able to see what the gaps are and how exactly you can fill them with the knowledge that you're going to be learning, then you don't have an education problem. All education becomes tools. No one's going to complain about anything. You just get good, you learn the skill, and you move on with life, right? No big hoo-ha about it. It's pretty straightforward. I need to solve problem A, I get solution A. That's it. So yeah, I'm just wondering for myself when this is going to happen. I'd say that within the next 1.5 to 2 years, Singapore is going to start looking a lot like Silicon Valley. Um, and I think that it's going to move pretty fucking fast. And I think that right now, while the ability to conceptualize problems is a little bit weak, it's going to change really, really fast. My intuition tells me that it's happening right now. So I would watch this space, and yeah, I think it's an exciting time to be alive. And if you're a student and you're watching this, or if you are a student business owner and you're watching this, I hope that this is useful. I hope that this gives you perspective to being able to see your classes in a way that actually is beneficial to you, where you are mindful about the things that you learn. Of course, it's going to take effort. Of course, you're not always going to have perfect classes. And of course, even if you buy online courses, you're not going to have a perfect course that meets all of your needs. It's impossible. It's wishful thinking. So, with that in mind, I hope that, by watching this video today, listening to me rant with this brain over here, and the CBD, supposed to maybe be little office workers coming out, slaves, right? The woke salaryman. Um, I hope that you are able to make the most out of your education, right? Especially if you're in university right now, especially if you're doing something for yourself, especially if you're wondering whether, it's all worth it. And maybe if it's like American system, 100K kind of like fees, then it wouldn't be so beneficial to you to get a degree or a program, and you're probably better off like buying courses for yourself. But yeah, if you do get the opportunity to be able to conceptualize problems at university level, I'd say take it. because we are going to be entering an idea economy very, 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 very soon. And it is people who have the proprietary systems, people who have the ability to bridge different domains of knowledge, who will be able to be the ones who are winning in 2026 and beyond. And I guess I say this as maybe a warning, maybe a prediction, and maybe I'll be right in 1.5 years. I don't know, right? But I'd much rather put my opinion out there, have it time stamped, and then I'll see whether I'm right. So, yeah. Okay, predictions, last thing. So, if you think that this is where the world is going, or if I think that this is where the world is going, then what do? You want to take the hardest courses available every single fucking day. And you want to take the most mind bending courses that are the hardest to apply. Because if the rate that AI is growing, if you're able to bridge the gap, I'm saying this myself because that's kind of what I'm doing too. If you're able to bridge the gap, which AI will eventually become the middleware of innovation, and you're able to bring ideas that have never been done before, that have never been seen before, but now are able to be implemented, you're going to be way ahead of that curve. And this is where good students start to thrive. And this is where the autistic type of people start to thrive. Like, I think that in the past, um, a lot of entrepreneurship came down to just confidence, closing, salesmanship, very, I don't know, rah rah type um, solutions, right? Where it's always about, Grant Cardone, the next guy who can sell whatever fucking it is. But now, with the way that even sales is being commoditized, the real person who's going to make a lot of money in the future, I'd say, is the person who actually knows their shit, knows what problem that they're solving, and is able to find a novel, efficient way in a very book smart technical way that can reliably produce results for the end user, kind of like software, right? It's not really software, it's agentic solutions. Everything's going to be agentic solutions. So if all of the day-to-day tasks are going to be automated, what is the final frontier where you can be the one designing these systems, and how can you have the perception, the skills, the big picture thinking to be able to zoom out at such a big level in order for you to then position yourself as someone useful and an orchestrator of systems within the next 10 years before the market starts to move again. Um, and yeah, I hope that, um, Singapore works out. I love this place. I grew up here, right? And I think it's great. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Um, Hope that this video is useful for you. Very, very out of place, very, very random. But yeah, I think that this is going to happen. Um, and whoever's still in university, well, do harder things. Do other things. Try more interesting problems. And one of them's going to crack like a fucking dam. I swear to God, it's going to happen. So, yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Cheers. Take care. Bye bye.